Good morning, good morning. Let me take off my shoes and socks. Welcome to this little soggy Wednesday morning. We're here on Victory Field, and we're doing it. We're doing it, right? So sometimes it's good to kind of get into a place where we're a little uncomfortable, but taking it all in stride. So thank you so much for joining me here in the field and during this. It's a good thing I can wash it all off. The weather is, temperature-wise, really quite beautiful, so we're super lucky. Please pay attention. Check our website for anything that we have coming up. We have always lots of events that we're trying to add to continue with our community. So follow us here on Facebook, Instagram, or check us out on our website. So let's get into a comfortable position. Letting your eyes close. And giving yourself this deep breath in. And letting it out. And another deep breath in. Fill the lungs. And let it go. Soften your jaw. Create space between your lips. The teeth separate. Notice sounds that you might hear. The sensations that you might feel. Notice your spectrum of worlds in this moment. Give yourself permission to not be carried away or even lost within that distraction. Just let it all become a part of this world that we live in. And allow for this sensation of sitting here to observe. Notice what it feels like for you to just sit back, to not be bothered by it. Notice your natural breath. The sensation of the belly rising and falling. Notice temperature against your skin. And invite that breath to start to grow. What does it feel like for you to take in just a little bit more air? Noticing the circling of energy as we take in a little bit more and we let go of a little bit more. Giving yourself just 2 or 3 more long, slow breaths. As you're breathing, maybe you start to focus in on this inner sense of joy, of gratitude. I love the rain. It's one of my absolute favorite things. It feels very cleansing. It gives me this time to just go inwards rather than always putting myself so far outwards. And it gives us just a shift in perspective, a shift in what's going on within our world. Take another deep breath in. And open up your mouth and just let that breath go. And one more deep breath in. and out. And invite yourself to start to create some movement from within the body. Maybe you're letting your head rock side to side. Maybe curl the knees into the chest if you're lying down on your back. And we'll all gently make our way up into a seated position, but notice how you transition into that seated position. Know that even though I've given you the next step of what we need to do, there's no race, there's no winning. There's just sensing and feeling and being. As you make your way up into a seated position, start to circle out the shoulders. I always love how when I start to move my shoulders, there's this echo of movement that shimmers throughout the body. And if you want to let those movements get a little bit bigger with the arms. It's going to be a beautiful day. You know, I think I've said this before here, is I have a 2.5-year-old, and so often, especially when it's raining, I ask her what color the sky is, and she goes, "Mama, the sky is blue, up above." And that's true. Even when there's clouds in the sky, up above it all, it's blue. Reaching those arms up to the sky, maybe letting them tip from side to side. Imagine if every day we woke up with that little cheerleader saying, "Today is going to be a good day. Today is going to be a good day." And then we'll slowly bring our hands down towards our knees. We're going to let our torso go over to the right, forward, left, and circle back and around, creating this big coffee grinder-like sensation. This can offer some gentle opening from within the lower back. Especially for so many of us, we hold a lot of tension within the lower back, within our hips. And if you need to extend a leg or extend both legs or get into a different position to create this movement, you do what feels right for you. And then we'll just gently go in the opposite direction. And the head, neck, shoulders can find whatever playful movement they like to be in for today. And just coming into center, letting those arms reach up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, flip the hands, heel of the hands, press away, tuck your chin to your chest as you lower those hands down. On your inhale, reach those arms up to the sky. Maybe the gaze, the chin can lift. And on your exhale, tuck chin to chest, lower those hands down. We're going to do it one more time. I always imagine every time I do this, this is just me taking flight. Arms reach up to the sky. And exhale, tuck chin to chest, lower the hands down. Bring your hands to your heart space. Tucking and bowing to yourself. Notice what moves you today. Maybe it's to find grounding. Maybe it's to find compassion. Maybe it's to find clarity in something that just feels confusing. May we honor our breath. May we always come back to this moment. May we all find peace. Take a deep breath in, arms reach up to the sky. And on your exhale, we're going to bring our hands down to the front of our mat and we're going to come into our tabletop position. It's like a slip and slide right now. We're going to find some cats and cows. So as you inhale, lift the tailbone, open up the heart space. And as you exhale, tuck the pelvis, round the back, push it up to the sky, tuck chin to chest. Inhale, the tailbone lifts, the chest opens. Gaze can stay with a soft focus or eyes closed. And as you exhale, round the back. And just 2 more times, lifting the tailbone, opening up the heart space. And exhale to round. And last time, coming on up. Inhale, lift the tailbone, open up the heart space. Maybe there's some extra movement that happens in your cats and cows. And as you exhale, round the back and gently press the hips slightly back to the heels. Just gently, I want to say bounce, but just shift forwards and backwards a little bit in our cat position. Notice what that feels like within the lower back. And then let the knees open, big toes touch, and sink down into your child's pose. As you sink into your child's pose, those arms can stretch forward. You can even start to move the shoulders if that feels good for you, dropping one shoulder down and then the other. Maybe they're shifting within the hips. Sometimes part of settling is the act of finding where the body has tightness and tension before allowing for it to settle into a place that feels good for you. Meditation and all of this focus isn't about us eliminating thoughts from our mind. It's just finding exactly that, a focus, to just bring it back to what needs to happen. Take a deep breath in and out. Knowing you can come here anytime you need to. On your inhale, we're going to roll up into our tabletop position. From this tabletop position, we're going to take that right leg and step it to the back of your mat and then lift it up at hip height. As we lift it up at hip height, I want you to draw your abs in, tuck your pelvis, and then slowly extend that left arm towards the front of your mat. See if you can lift up from that right shoulder. So no, we're not dumping our weight down. We're finding this opening right here. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, curl knee and elbow in towards each other, round the back. Inhale to extend. And exhale to squeeze it in. 2 more times. Inhale to extend. And exhale to squeeze it in. And 1 more time. Extend, squeeze that right quad. Exhale, pull it in. Now from here, drop that left elbow down. Start to circle out the right knee to the right side of your mat. You can play around circling out the ankle, bending and straightening the leg. Just move with whatever kind of primal force feels right for you. Maybe there's just that stacking and a lifting of that right hip. Maybe that feels really good. Great modification for a 3-legged dog with that leg stacked. It's right here. And then slowly release the knee down. Come onto the left palm. And we'll do this on the other side. So the left leg is going to go to the back of your mat. Relax shoulders away from the ears. And then start to extend that right arm towards the front of your mat. Yes. Lift the corners of your mouth because it has to help, right? Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, you're going to curl knee and elbow in towards each other. Inhale to reach, extend, squeeze. And exhale, pull it in. 2 more times. Inhale, reach. And exhale, squeeze it in. And last time. Inhale to reach. And exhale, squeeze it in. Now release the right elbow down towards the mat. Lift up that left knee, circle it around. Move the ankle. Stack the hip. Maybe it feels good to get really big with this motion, or maybe it feels better to be small and tight. Again, I love this idea of testing the waters to just open up those tighter, nuanced spots from within our body. The big things don't necessarily come from the big movements. that we have. Sometimes it's those small movements that can unlock the puzzle of what keeps tension within our body. Slowly release, left knee down, come onto that right palm, tuck the toes, inhale. As you exhale, press those hips back and up, come into your downward facing dog. As you come into down dog, start to pedal out the feet, bending one knee, moving the hips, maybe offering a little bounce. See what feels right for you. I always love to circle around within the girdle of my shoulder. I always feel like there's so much for me to learn. So much movement that I forget actually happens. Give yourself a couple deep breaths in. And one more. Slowly walking your hands back towards your feet, coming into your forward fold, shaking out the head yes and no. You have the option to bring elbows to thighs if that feels good for you. Or coming into more of a ragdoll position if your back is like, let's do it. The whole back line of the body should feel nice and soft. So notice if there's forceful pressure or it feels nice and soothing for the body. You can always bend the knees a lot, lengthen them. And then slowly taking your time, I want you to bend your knees, hands to thighs, chin to chest, inhale. As you exhale, roll to come up. Inhale, the arms sweep up to the sky. Exhale, right hand down, left hand stretches up and over to the right side. Drop the shoulder down and maybe even peel back the left shoulder. See what that feels like. Move the head to make sure you're not holding onto any unnecessary tension. Inhale up and exhale. Drop that left hand down. Right hand stretches up and over towards the left side. Inhale, come on back to center. And then exhale, sink on down into your chair. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. On your inhale, we're going to stand up tall, take that right knee up for a ride, scoop those arms up. Now as we land, toe, ball of the foot, and heel sink down into chair. Inhale, stand up tall, lift the left, and exhale, land down, toe, ball of the foot, and heel. We're going to do it on the right, lift, and drop it down, and on the left, lift, and drop it down. So we're going to march from side to side, circling out our arms. Notice how we move our body in space. We could all be going at the same speed or going at a slower speed. So maybe you want to move it a little faster, and it's up to you. I always like to go a little slower and then to test the waters of going faster, because slow is where we gain that kind of different kinetic response within our body. Now the next time you have that left knee up, you're going to hold it. And we'll wait. From here, squeeze into that right quad. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And we're going to slowly twist open towards the left side. Ta-da! So from here, I want you to lift up through the crown of the head. If that toe has to go down, you do it because it feels good. It's all good. Inhale, come on back to center. And on your exhale, hands to hips. Kick that left foot out in front of you. Squeeze the quad. If the foot goes down, because that's what feels right for you, do it. You can still have it at a lowered angle while still maintaining that awareness. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, bend the right knee, plant the hands on the right thigh. As we drop that left heel down, you might peel those toes up towards the shin and move the hips. Draw shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in and out. Now releasing that left foot down to the ground, we're going to then stand up tall. We're going to come into tree. The right foot is going to find that left leg, or not. Maybe it plants down on the earth. And maybe you're letting those arms open to the sides. Now what happens in that left leg? Squeeze the quad, lift up through the crown of the head. Take a deep breath in and out. I think it stopped raining. How exciting is that? Deep breath in and out. Now as we inhale, you're going to come back to center. You're going to take that right knee with you to the front, and then you're going to step it behind the left. Now the toe can be down or the heel, whatever feels good. Right hand to the head, left hand to the hip. You're with me? Lift that right elbow up to the sky. Cute enough for a selfie, right? But we're good enough for just real life, so that's good. Inhale, come on back up to center. You're gonna take that right knee, land the foot next to the left. Easy peasy. Inhale, arms sweep up to the sky. Exhale, hinge down, finding your forward fold. Sliding your hands to your shins, thighs, knees, whatever feels good. Come into your halfway lift. Hold in halfway lift for a second. Move the hips. Circle at the head. Notice how much movement happens in a static pose. There's a lot of energy shooting through our body. As you exhale, slowly release down. Hands are going to come to the mat, and you're going to step your way back into a plank. As we come into our plank, I want you to squeeze the quads. Know that you can release onto knees if you want. And just because we choose knees doesn't necessarily make it easier. In fact, as we hold this for 3 more breaths, what I love about being on your knees is the fact that you can engage more. In my life, there's no such thing as something that's too easy. It just affords us the opportunity to connect deeper to it. Last breath in. And out. Inhale, knees to earth, just for the first time if you choose. As you exhale, let the torso come forward. Draw elbows towards those ribs, lower down onto your belly like you're moving through honey, slow motion. Now squeeze those glutes, press the tops of your feet into the mat. Notice the quads fire up. On your inhale, head, shoulders lift up. Draw shoulders away from the ears, look down. On your exhale, slowly release down. Inhale, press up, tabletop. Exhale, down dog. This whole time, see if you can move as if you're in water. So the resistance of water, the way that water feels nurturing, supportive. Maybe trying to lift that tailbone higher up to the sky. Draw those abs in a little bit more. Shoulders away from the ears. Take one more deep breath in and out. Slowly walk those hands back towards the feet, coming into your forward fold. Again, giving yourself 2 breaths right here, finding whatever play, whatever kind of movement feels right for you. Slide your hands towards your thighs, bend your knees, tuck chin to chest on your inhale. As you exhale, roll up to standing. Inhale, the arms sweep up to the sky. As you exhale, this time left hand comes down, right hand stretches up and over to the left side. Press into that right foot, lean that right shoulder back. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale, right hand down, left hand stretches up and over towards the right side. Again, rooting down into that left foot, draw abs in. Inhale, arms reach up, and exhale, chair. Pausing here for a second. Maybe see what that feels like to embody this position. So we're going to do the march. You can make the breath be very active. So if you feel as we come into a colder season, our breath can be used to heat our bodies up. Our breath can be used to cool us down. So a way for us to heat ourselves up, although I don't feel too cold right now, is for us to have a more of a dynamic breath a more forceful breath. So we're going to inhale, stand up tall, take that right knee up for the ride, and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. So like breath of fire. It's not named that just because it's going to cool you off. And that's the interesting thing. Within us, there are so many tools that we have for stress relief. I think it was a squirrel. How funny. Our world is right here, and around us, like this chaos of nature, this mix of technology, it's all here. And where we allow for our gaze to go, how we shift our perspective, that formulates the world around us. So the next time you have that right knee up in the air, you're going to pause. And maybe even here you notice the heart rate, how it changes. Take a deep breath in. On your exhale, twist to the right side. Yeah, toe down or not, it's all good. Inhale, come on back to center. Now hands to hips. Relax those shoulders, still engage within that left leg. As you exhale, kick right foot forward. Squeezing into the quad, the upper thigh. Lift up through the crown of the head. Let the face soften. Now, slowly bending into that left knee, plant that right heel down to the mat. Hands are going to stack on top of the left thigh. Wiggle those hips. Move the head. I feel like I have this running mantra that goes a lot. Relax those shoulders, relax those shoulders, relax the jaw. Because it's the first place. When you get tense, what do? Ears up to shoulders, best friends. No, like Romeo and Juliet, keep them away. Keep them away. Take a deep breath in. And out. Now plant that right foot down. Come up into your tree. So the left foot goes onto that right leg. And maybe you're just focusing right here for a second. Finding your drishti, your focus. Where does your focus go for today? For each one of us, it's so different. Take one more deep breath in. See if you can relax that right ankle. Let every shimmer of the body just turn into a soft echo. Now, we're going to bring that left knee forward. Then we're going to take it and step it behind the right in a funky little mini curtsy. You can always drop if you want that left heel down. You're going to bring your right hand to your hip. Left hand is going to go behind the back of your head. Take a deep breath in, splay those elbows away from each other, and then on your exhale, lift that left elbow up to the sky. Take a deep breath in and out. The idea of flaring your nostrils, for me it resonates. So I imagine it's just this like opening that's happening, creating more air into my body, allowing for it to come. On your inhale, coming on up, and then just stepping that left foot next to the right. Sweeping the arms to a T. Here comes trouble. As you exhale, bend the knees, round the back. Inhale, open up. Exhale to round. And one more time. Inhale to open, broaden, and exhale to round. Inhale, arms sweep up to the sky, palms together. Exhale, swing them behind the back of your head. Now we've created this little hammock for our head. If this feels too tense, you can always just bring it to fingertips and just lean back into it. Doesn't have to be the whole palms facing in towards each other. Do what feels best for your shoulders. Soften the jaw. Now take a deep breath all the way to the top of the chest. Inhale, sweep those arms up. And as you exhale, just open up the arms to the right side. Inhale, both arms come up to the front, open up the chest. Exhale, twist open to the left. Inhale, come back up. And exhale one more time each side, open up to the right. Inhale, come on, back up. And exhale, open up to the left. Shoulder health and mobility, really important. Inhale, back up to center. And as you exhale, find the chair. The chair. Relax shoulders away from the ears. Move the neck, the head, the shoulders. So even in a static pose, something that is still, notice the energy flowing up from the feet. Squeeze those inner thighs towards each other. So you always have the choice to be more active in it or to be a little bit more passive. But that goes on you. What do you choose for today? Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, hinge forward. Inhale your hands to your shins, come into your halfway lift. And then exhale, hands come down to the ground, step your feet to the back of your mat, come into your plank. Holding into this plank, squeeze the quads, squeeze your core, tuck the pelvis, push up from the hands. Take one more deep breath in and out. On your next inhale, knees to earth or not. As you exhale, high plank to low plank. If you're coming from your feet, make sure those shoulders don't go below the elbows. Flip the feet. If you're coming into your up dog, open up the chest. Make sure you're protecting your lower back. Broaden the chest forward. Exhale to your down dog. Take a deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in and out. On your inhale, get your feet together at the back of your mat. Sweep right leg up to the sky. As you exhale, stack that right hip on top of left. And again, if it felt better for you, you can always come down onto that left knee and lift that hip up. You're still getting a beautiful opening of your hip, especially if it feels less than great on hands and feet. Switch it. It's your practice. Inhale, come back to center with the leg. As you exhale, hug the knee into the chest, roll forward, three-legged plank. Inhale, sweep the leg up. Exhale, over to the left armpit, left elbow. Inhale, up. And exhale to the front of your mat. As you come to the front of your mat, open up the feet. Let them go to the wide sides of the mat. Hands can come onto blocks. Squeeze front leg and back leg in towards each other. Option to release that left knee down if you choose or not. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, straighten the front leg. Inhale to bend. And exhale to lengthen. And two more times. Inhale to bend. And exhale to lengthen. And one more time. Bending into the front knee. Notice what it feels like to lower those hips down. And as you exhale to lengthen, we're going to pause here. Bringing your head down towards the right knee. Relax the head. Try to draw the right hip back. Shimmy within those hips. Inhale, bending in towards that right knee. Root down into the left hand and start to lift that right arm up to the sky. And again, if you want to release down here into that left knee, you do it, because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, how do you nurture yourself? How do you advocate for yourself? Take one more deep breath in. And on your exhale, release right hand down. If you have that left knee down, tuck the left toes, lift it up. Now we're going to drop left heel over to the right side of your mat. Draw the abs in, come up, warrior two. Pausing here in warrior two. Notice what's happening with that front knee, with that back leg. See if you can find some relaxing of those shoulders. And if you want, you can start to circle those shoulders out. So in this position, traditionally speaking, our hips are supposed to be facing the wide sides of our mat. But if you notice, you look down towards that right knee and you see it going to the inside arch, then that means maybe drawing that left toe in and letting the hips square off to that front left corner of your mat is a better place. So this is about making the posture work for you rather than you working for the posture, because our bodies are made so differently. Take and flip that front hand up to the sky, and on your inhale, stretch it up. So I guess what I'm saying is break every rule, except for the rule of causing pain. We want to be good to ourselves, but we want to find and kind of develop this sense of what feels right for us. And sometimes it's breaking outside of that mold. Take a deep breath in and out. On your inhale, we're going to come on up, warrior two. On your exhale, I want you to drop right elbow down, left arm sweeps up to the sky. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Find that relationship between the right leg and that right arm, and notice how they can press into each other evenly. If you want, you can even extend that left arm so it goes to the front of your mat, bicep and ear, or even taking and stretching that right arm towards the side of your mat. Feels interesting, a lot of strength that happens there. Now, tuck your pelvis, squeeze your abs in. On your inhale, torso comes up, and then I want you to straighten the right leg, dial the toes to the left side of your mat. Open up the palms, broaden the chest, even grin, like really grin. Be happy for this one moment. On your exhale, hinge forward, shaking out the head yes and no. My big go-to are side-to-side lunges. It feels good for my inner hips. But maybe stay in stillness, or maybe you're a handstander, headstander, and that's like your joy. So have permission to do something that feels right for you in this moment. We'll take 4 more breaths. Two more breaths. And 1 more breath. And we'll come into center if you're not already there. Grabbing a block or a box or something that can help to elevate the body, the torso up to a halfway position. Arms are going to rest on it. Hands are going to rest on it. And I want you to root down into the left hand. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, start to spiral the right arm up to the sky. Maybe look up towards the sky. Maybe it feels better for that right arm to come into a half bind. Now in this position, shift to the toes. Shift back to the heels. Notice how this twist starts really low in the spine. Take 1 more deep breath in. And on your exhale, slowly release down. Shaking out the head, yes. No, wiggling the hips. We'll find it on the other side. So we'll come into that halfway lifted position. Getting shoulders away from the ears, rooting down into that right hand. And then on your exhale, letting that left arm stretch up to the sky, or half bind, or hand at hip. And maybe what feels good on one side feels less than pleasant on the other, so listen to what feels right for you. Give yourself a deep breath in and out. Slowly releasing the left hand down. toe heel the feet together a few times so that you can get the heels in, toes out. We'll come up into our goddess position, but with our hands on our thighs, little modified position. Our hips are back and our torso is forward. Let those knees open as wide as it feels comfortable. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, twist open to the right side. Inhale, come back. I like what you did, Cheryl. Exhale, twist open to the left. It's like, I might do that. Inhale, come back to center, and then we'll roll up to standing. Arms stretch up to the sky. And exhale, hands come to our heart space. Let all toes face forward. We're gonna find Parashvattanasana. So hands will come to hips. Let the shoulders relax away from the ears. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, hinging from the hips, start to allow for that torso to fall forward. Notice if you're really locking in towards that right leg, I encourage you to soften the knee. Now, a lot of times we qualify our stretch with the joints being totally straight. And there's a lot of movement that happens when a joint can have a softening to it. Up that kinetic line of our body, it starts to release some of that inner tension. So a lot of times when we say creating active resistance, bending a knee, it helps to actually increase our flexibility by increasing our strength. So for me, you can't have flexibility in a super healthy way without having strength behind it. So we work on both, because we want to protect our body. Take a deep breath in and out. If you have blocks, we're going to move them off to the side. The hands are going to come down to the ground, and you're going to step both of your feet to the back of your mat to come into your plank position. From this plank position, we're going to find a side plank, turning to the left side first. So you can drop that right knee down if you choose, or you might just drop the heels over towards the right side and lift that left arm up. You always have 1,000 different options. Maybe that left foot comes forward onto the ground. Maybe you lift up that left leg, or maybe that right knee's down. So tons of things that you can do to let it feel good within your body. Wherever you are, take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, slowly release that left hand down. Bend your knees, press yourself back, come into your child's pose. Wiggle the hips, shake out the head, yes, no. Circle out the wrists if you need to. And we'll do this on the other side after one more breath. Take a deep breath in child's pose. And out. All right, coming on up. Tabletop position, tuck the toes, plank. Now again, as you open up towards that right side, how do you move your body? Left knee down, right leg up, drawing abs in. Smiles on our faces. We're out here. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be a great day. It already is. Take one more breath. And on your exhale, release right hand down, knees to earth. Press yourself back, child's pose. All right, my friends. Press yourself up. Tabletop position. Tuck the toes down, dog. Pedal in the feet. Notice how every time you come into a posture that maybe we've repeated before, it's different. It's changed because we are different. We are changed. Get your feet together at the back of the mat, lifting up that left leg, and then stacking left hip on top of right. Again, if you want to drop down onto that right knee to find this, like we did at the beginning, it's a beautiful place to go. Give yourself another deep breath in and out. Inhale, neutralize the hips. As you exhale, curl that left knee in towards the chest. Inhale up. And exhale over to the right elbow. Inhale up. Exhale, step that foot to the front of your mat. Finding this position, drawing shoulders away from the ears. You always have the option if you want to release that right knee down or not. Letting there be this relaxation going down the back line of the body. Now, from here, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lengthen the front leg. Inhale to bend, drawing that right hip down, and exhale to lengthen. Inhale to bend, and exhale, pressing those hips back. And 2 more times. Inhale to bend. Maybe that chest opens as you shift forward. And exhale to lengthen as you press back. 1 more time before we pause. Inhale. And exhale. Now pausing here with that extended leg. This is a very wide-legged Parashvattanasana kind of modification. I want you to think about the head going towards the left knee. Maybe you shake out the head yes and no. Maybe you wiggle your toes. Maybe there's a dramatic shifting or lifting up of the right heel. Take 1 more deep breath in. And sigh it out. As you inhale, bend into the left knee. Again, always option to release the right knee down if you choose. Rooting in towards that right hand, lift the left arm up to the sky. Squeeze those inner thighs in towards each other. Really fire them up. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, release the right hand or left hand down. You're going to draw the right heel to the left and come on up into our warrior 2. So as you come into our warrior 2, focus in on your breath. Notice where your body is. Notice what adjustments you have to make. At the end of the day, the way you move in your practice is totally up to you. Many times I've gone into class and my practice has been lying down on my back and just chilling there while someone talks sweet nothings into my ear. At the end of all of this, the practice is what? Focusing on you. That's it. Now flip that front hand up to the sky. On your inhale, stretch it up. So how you kindle that relationship is completely up to you. The journey you take is never wasted. And I think sometimes we spend so much time caring for others, we forget about caring for ourselves. Inhale, come on back, warrior 2. And then exhale, extended side angle. Drop that left elbow down. Right arm can go up to the sky. And maybe you play around with drawing that right shoulder back. Imagine you're leaning against a wall. Or, I don't know, do it. If you're in a room that has walls, just lean back against it. It can feel quite wonderful to have support, and your body actually can go further when you have that kind of support in your life, in your positioning. As an option, right arm can extend towards the front of your mat, left arm can reach forward if you like, maybe rebending into that left knee or not. Now tuck the pelvis, inhale, torso comes up, warrior 2, straightening the front leg. Dial the left toes towards the right side. This time, interlace the palms behind the back. Hug those shoulder blades together. And on your exhale, hinge forward. Lead with the heart, head, neck, shoulders, relax down. You can bring your hands down at any point, but if you have those hands interlaced, maybe you play around with hugging those shoulders away from the ears, or maybe you play around with dumping them down, kind of finding those 2 ends of the spectrum that feel right for you. When you're ready, you can release those hands down, shaking out the head yes and no. Hello. Hello, dog. Give yourself just another breath or two. And we'll take our time toe heeling our feet together just a few times. Bend those knees. Let that upper body be really heavy. And roll up to standing. As we roll up to standing, you're going to take all your toes and bring them to the front of your mat. Just to face. We're coming into Parashvattanasana. So one foot, left foot is forward, right foot is back. All toes facing towards the front of your mat, about hips or shoulders distance apart. Take a deep breath in right here. And on your exhale, hinge forward. The anticipation, I think, of our day-to-day life, our interactions, the weirdness of this year. It may be how every year is slightly weird. It's just that we don't have something that's a shared experience, such as what it is that we're going through. I think even the flowers in my garden have seen something strange in this year. I love morning glories. And I plant them every year. This year, all of mine had no flowers until this past week. And then they started flowering. I wasn't expecting it, and it was such a sweet little surprise to wake up every morning and to see a new blue bud ready to open and to unfurl. And for that one day, that one beautiful day, it shows its petals and it opens itself up. And then it's gone. Bending your knees. We're going to roll up to standing. Inhale, arms sweep up to the sky. Now on your exhale, hands come down. We're going to just drop the right shin down to the ground and come back onto our glutes. And then just sweep that leg forward. If that doesn't work for you, just come on down any way that feels good for you. We'll grab a block or blocks if you need to, and we'll lay down on our backs. We're going to find some bridges. So pressing into our heels of our feet, let the feet be about hips distance apart. You can always choose to bring a block in between your inner thighs. I like that. It gets a little bit more engagement from my inner thighs. Pressing into your heels, lift the hips up to the sky. Create a little bit of space between your chin and your chest. So if you find that this is a closed off position for you, as you exhale, release down. A great thing that I do in my own practice is I actually bring pillows or blankets just underneath my shoulders, not my head. Lift the hips up. We're going to do this 5 times and lower them down so that my head's on the ground and my shoulders are just slightly elevated about an inch or so. So if you find this space is ever closed off, just because of the positioning of our neck, our head, our backs, find elevation within those shoulders. It's really a wonderful supportive place. Every time you come up into your bridge, squeeze those inner thighs together. Block or not, we can still find that engagement. Now the next time you come up, should be about our 5th time, hold it up here. Press those arms into the ground. As an option, maybe interlace the hands behind the back, hug those shoulder blades in towards each other, and lift those hips up as high as it feels right for you. Give yourself a deep breath in and out. And one more deep breath in and out. Now, if you have a block, remove it. You might unlace those hands and we'll roll down nice and easy. We're going to come into shoulder stand. So you have two options here. You can come into full shoulder stand or you can come into supported. If you come into full shoulder stand, you probably know what to do. I'll explain it second. You can get into it. If you come into supported, hips lift up. Block goes underneath your sacrum. You're going to rest down onto the block, start to lift those feet up towards the sky. If it doesn't feel right for the block where it is, shift and adjust until it feels effortless. Feet go straight up, waterfall, arms can go up. You can just let it hang here. Get to that place where it feels just nurturing from within your body. If you want to come into full shoulder stand, you will not have a block. You're going to hug those knees in towards the chest, roll back, hands go to the lower back, feet go up to the sky, and you can support yourself any way it feels comfortable on that lower back area. Either way feels good. Do what feels right for you. And that full shoulder stand, having again those shoulders supported a little higher up, is a really great place. Just letting the body sink down. Let the body, let the breath just calm the nervous system. Relax the jaw. Relax that effort of doing and just be. Be the sensations that flow. Be the belly that rises and falls. Letting those knees bend and slowly releasing the body down towards the mat, feet down towards the mat. Once they're there, you can lift and remove the block. We're going to find a twist. So bringing that left knee into the chest. My right knee is still bent, but they're staggered. Left knee is in closer, right leg a little farther away. Just drop both knees over towards the right side. And if at any point you're like, I want to do something different, then do something different. Do something that feels right for you. Notice the left shoulder. Let the lips be soft. The palms of your hands, notice if they're holding on to any tension. Let them be at ease. Take another breath right here. Slowly to come up, lift the left knee, drop the foot down onto the ground, and then hug that right knee into the chest. You might have to realign the spine so it feels a little bit more comfortable, and then hug that right knee into the chest. Knees are staggered, let them both drop open towards the left side. And if you want to add support underneath the knees, relaxing the right shoulder. Let any of the tension within the face, let it all dissipate. We hold so much tension within our daily comings and goings that it becomes just natural for it to be that little pulse, our baseline. What if we change that baseline? Take a deep breath in. Slowly letting that right knee lift up. And then the left. Give both knees a squeeze into the chest. And then slowly relax those legs down the mat to come into your Shavasana. Let the body be heavy. To let go of what happens or didn't happen. May we just be the breath. Just for today, may we be that flower that opens unexpectedly. May we notice what happens from within. Conversations that we have with others in person, on Zoom, on social media. May we have compassion for the journeys that others have taken. To always step back to consider. The beauty of life is the simplicity of it all. And it's there for us. When we come back to breath. Loka Satana Sukino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Take a deep breath in. And let that breath go. And start to encourage, as you continue to breathe deeply, encourage some fingers to move, some rekindling of this relationship that we have with our body. Head can drop side to side. And either staying where you are or encouraging that body to roll over onto one side. And then to gently make your way up to seated. Or staying as you are. Once you come up to seated, just bring your hands to your forehead, your third eye, letting palms press in towards each other. May we find our grounding. To consider what happens around us. Is it necessary? Is it true? Is it kind?
May we use that as a baseline for moving throughout our day. Thank you so much for joining me here today, for showing up as you are and being who you are. I bow to you and I salute you. Namaste.